Hello everyone. I have recently been on a SERU test and I thought I will share with you what it looks like. There is a lot of mysteries going around this test, so I wanted to tell you exactly what's happened. I will break this video into few parts so you know exactly what it looks like from start to finish. So first I'm going to talk about arrival. Where it is, how to get there, where to park, then how to register when you get there. No, let's do what to bring with you, because they do tell you in the letter what to bring, and I saw some guys forget bring some things. Also, let's do parking first, because there was confusion about parking as well. That in the letter it said that there is no parking provided, but obviously there is. Then how and when to pay. It's pretty self-explanatory, but still they told me to stand against the wall. I thought they were going to shoot me, but now they were taking a picture. And then I will take you through what the SERU exam looked like, what kind of questions they were asking, how much time you have for what you should know, what you don't have to worry about, and what the points, which points are what for. All right, let's get started. Arrival, guys. On arrival, you need to get to Beaumont Avenue, which is just to the left after West Kensington Station. West Cromwell Road going west, turn left into Northend Road, left into Beaumont Avenue. Right at the end, there is a green gate that you will have to park the car outside and get to the building at the end. As you can see, there is loads of parking spaces. In a letter from them, it says there is no parking provided. We encourage you to come by train, but this is all rubbish. There is loads of parking. People come in and go, so even if there is no room, you stay there and just wait. Within a few minutes someone will be leaving, because there's loads of drivers coming and going all the time, so there will always be parking space. I recommend parking for about 2 to 2.5 hours, depending on level of your English and how prepared you are. Personally, I finished my SERU test in 18 minutes, but I have met a lot of drivers who didn't finish the test because they ran out of time. They were a bit slower. So 2.5 hours. They tell you in a letter it's going to be 2.5 hours maximum, and this is basically it. 2.5 hours is £12.50 car park. Do not park in Tesco. I know all the Tesco's give you 3 hours. This one doesn't. This one gives you an hour and a half, and obviously no return. I met drivers in the exam parking in the Tesco's. They were quite surprised, and obviously it becomes a really expensive car park, £100. So £12.50. Best if you get yourself a ring go up. Then I think it was 17738 location number. So if you haven't got the app yet, download it before you go. Add your car, add your payment detail. So as soon as you arrive, you can park and extend if you will need to. But I do suggest that you buy the car park in advance, because as soon as you go into the briefing, they will tell you to switch the phone off, and you will not really have an opportunity to touch the phone until the very end, because it's a briefing, switched off, then English, and then from English you go straight to SERU. No time to start the phone and extend the car park. So pay for the full 2.5 hours in advance and save yourself a lot of trouble. Now, I don't have any footage of what's going on inside the building, obviously, but when you get in there, there'll be a really, really sad looking dude that really doesn't want to see you there. He will ask you for your passport or driving license. Most likely driving license. They say you need a passport, but will accept driving license, but no one really asks for passport. So one of those two, make sure you have it on you, because if you don't, that's it. That's the end of story. They say you will need your letter with you. No one is looking at the letter. So if you forget it, it's not the end of the world. They will just take your ID and tick you off on the list, send you off to sit down in a waiting area. There is a toilet, so obviously it's always a big thing for us. There is one there, so don't panic. When the time comes, someone will come down by lift. It's really funny actually, because it felt a little bit like a Squid Game. Someone will come down and call your group into the lift to take you upstairs to a language exam. The language exam, you go in, everyone gets their own. Oh no, sorry. First, you need to go and make a payment. As I said before, you need to go to the reception desk upstairs, and they will again ask for your ID and to make a payment of £72. So make sure you've got your card on you. If you don't have your card, you can't make a payment and you're going home. So they don't take cash, they don't take contactless. So do have your card on you. That is just as important as your ID. After that, you're being taken to your briefing. You will be sitting together with other drivers and telling each other really scary stories about what they've heard about this SERU exam from other drivers, and panicking. So that's why I'm making this video, to calm you down, because it's not really that scary if you know what to expect. There will be a girl that comes in, tells you to switch the phones off and get ready, tell you what the structure of the exam is, so there is pointless to talk about it here. But she will just brief you, and then someone will come and take you to the language test. In the language test, everyone will sit in their own cubicle in front of a computer. You will then put on your headphones. On the other end, there will be a lady or a man. There will be someone who will be testing you. Your she called herself interlocutor. Her name was Alexia. I would say it's really worth remembering their name, as it is a part of a speaking exam. So I would say you are expected to remember the name. Then she will do a test with you, which will consist of 5 parts. It'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then also you will have A, B, and C. We'll get to that in a moment. You will have part 1. Oh, come on. Nope, doesn't want to cooperate. Right, let's start again. That will be part 1, your favorite celebration. There is no good or wrong answer. There is remember, that is a speaking and listening exam. You are expected to tell there about your favorite celebration. There is no good or bad celebration. If it's your birthday, or is it your dog's birthday, is it Christmas, or is it any other kind of celebration, you tell them that this is your celebration and why. because you like something about it. End of story. Forget about it. Then number 2, there is a role play. She plays a role, you need to fit into a role. In my case, she said she's my flatmate, and I need to convince her to let me organize a party in our flat. Again, flat conversation, talk on the subject, be polite, because this is a kind of question where really they are testing if you are actually able to ask your passenger a normal polite question on the go, or if you cannot communicate, because essentially this is what they want from you here, right? They want you to be able to communicate. Then number 3 was a reading text. She was reading a text to me, and in this text she gave me three questions before, which you get 10 seconds to read the questions. Okay, it's quite important because it is easy to drift off and then you will be in trouble, because once she starts reading you can't really read the questions. If you read the questions beforehand, you'll be alright, because then you can look for answers in her reading. Hope this makes sense. So the questions in my case were, what was girl's first memory? So and then once you know the question, once you understand it, she was reading something. There's a little girl, she likes the book. My first memory was going to library and picking my first book. So quite difficult to remember if you don't know the question, but when you do know the question, then you look for specific information. It's easy. Then there was her feelings on meeting author. Again, easy, but then this is logic as well. You can imagine that she was excited without even listening to it. And then there was one more question about, I don't know if I remember even. What was the third question? It doesn't matter. It was about. That was which job she would like to do in the future. And again, in the text she read, and she only read it for about 30 seconds, so it's not long. There was something that she would like to work with books. She would never like to work in the office. So yeah, this is the part 3 or 4 of this text, of this listening test. Afterwards, I can't really remember part 4. It was quite similar, but 5 definitely was a question. Please tell me about your favorite book. And she wants you to talk about it for 4.5 minutes. That's a long time to talk about something. So if you haven't got any book you read, talk about a film like it was a book. Don't try to panic. Don't, oh my god, I haven't read any book for the last 30 years. It doesn't matter. If you don't read the books, doesn't matter, you can't reply to the question. Just make sure that you talk about something similar. They want a book, you watch the film, you talk about a film, you talk a story, you make something up, doesn't matter. It's all about being on the ball. Okay? On the ball, man. Don't panic, don't go silent. Right. Now we're going to the main part, ladies and gentlemen. SERU. This is not a real question. This is a question you will find on someone else's YouTube or on Google search or on mock tests. Doesn't matter, but what does matter is that SERU test is not predominantly a SERU test. This is really, really important to remember, because predominantly this test is an English test. All right? It is not a SERU test. Let me explain why. If you look at at this question here, it's okay. It's a question from a handbook. You really need to read this handbook if your English is at not the highest level. You will get, I think, if I remember correctly, about 10 questions like this. It will be questions about information from the handbook with multiple choice questions. I have even found one with a mistake, so that's not really reassuring, but I double checked in handbook, and question should have had 2 possible answers. They only let you give 1, so that's a bit worrying. But you need to complete 22 out of 36 questions. You will get 36. It will be about 10 of this type. Then there will be another type of question, I think it's 10 to 17, where you will have piece of handbook, a paragraph from a handbook explaining something. Let's say you have a question, you have a paragraph saying, I'm a taxi driver. Obviously, I'm making this up right now, but you have a question. Paragraph. I'm a taxi driver. I like driving VW Charans. These are the best cars in the world, cheapest to run. Liam Griffin is my best mate, and world is beautiful. And then you will have 3 different options to choose from, where A will be, he's a taxi driver, likes driving Charan and loves Liam Griffin. The other B will be, I don't believe in landing on moon, and C will be, Addison Lee is predominantly making cookies. So then you have to select something. So as you can see, it's got nothing to do with SERU whatsoever. It's purely English reading. You go through the text. All you need to do is understand what it says, and then choose the obvious answer. Literally obvious answer. You can't go wrong with that, because it will just stand out. And the last section, which is, I think, 17 questions. So most of the test. And also I forgot to mention that first part, the actual SERU part, is 1 point per question. The second part and the third part, which are English questions, are 2 points per question. So if you look at it that way, the first 10 questions will give you 10 points, and that's actual handbook knowledge. Then you will have second and third, which are 26 questions, 2 points each, that's 52 points. They want you to answer 60%. So if you think about it, I mean, don't take my word for that, it's just my silly calculations, but if the total points available is 62 and they want you to do 60%, you only have to do 37 points and you get 52 for the English bit. So if you do the English bit correctly and fail the handbook completely, you're still passing with big reserve. So don't worry about it too much. Make sure you understand the instructions, read the instructions. Most of the replies are really logical. When can you pick up your passengers from outside your office? Never. When you tell the operator when they have pink hair. I mean, questions like this, okay? There will be some tricky questions, but mainly, if you get in trouble, it will be because of English language, not because of your knowledge. There will be, the third part is what I'm showing you up here, where you just have a piece of text with removed words and nothing to do with knowledge again. As you can see, they are giving you few different words, too many words. You need 3, they give you 6 or 7, and you need to put the incorrect ones in the box, and you need to put the correct one in correct places. In the all you need to make sure is that the sentence makes sense. Okay, it only needs to make sense. There is no science to it whatsoever. If it says passengers want to be treated, not treating, with respect. If you have any basic grammar knowledge in English, you will know that passengers want to be treated, that they are sending out penalty notices for traffic offenses. They are not sending one notice for traffic offenses. It's just common knowledge. It's pure logic. It's you reading English sentences. So the one most important thing I could recommend to anyone doing SERU test, whether it's next week or next year, doesn't matter. Start reading the handbook aloud. Do it aloud, and so that you can read it, not necessarily understand it, but that you can hear yourself read it. So next time when you do the SERU exam, don't think about the answers. Read them to yourself and check if it makes sense. If it makes sense, it's probably correct. I mean, if it's not, then it's not. But I spoke to drivers. They tried to do the exam. They ran out of time. I spoke to a dude that said he's done really, really well. Only he ran out of time and didn't answer the last 10 questions. 10 questions, bruv. Is like 2 points each. That's like 20 points down. Come on. When you need 36 to pass. So don't focus too much. Don't think too long on questions that you're not sure of. If you're not sure, skip the question. Go to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. First, do the easy ones. The second and third are easy. The first is knowledge. So I would say do second and third as quickly as possible, then worry about the knowledge. Because knowledge is the least important and the most difficult if you haven't read and understood the handbook. Okay, I hope it covers it all. I wish I had this video that would take away a lot of stress, but I'm pretty confident I passed it. It was easy. I literally left the office after 18 minutes. There was nothing else to do. It was just joke and waste of time and make for them to make money or get rid of people who can't speak the language. I mean, you don't need the language, right? Like and subscribe if you found this video helpful. If you guys like and subscribe, I will be making more really useful videos. So I will see you soon. Bye.